to another episode of Donnie Does It. Today we are working on the 85 4Runner. We're gonna be working on the back bumper today. I haven't actually shown anybody this back bumper yet, and we're gonna get it finished up, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna do it. Stay tuned. So I've got this trail gear rear bumper. I love it. I think the design is great. I think it offers a good amount of protection. It's super tight to the body. You can see I've got it just on a jack stand there with one bolt in it, just so I can pull it back out real quick. But the only thing it's missing, in my opinion, is fill plates. The All Pro off-road stuff, you know, another company of trail gear has fill plates with dimple dies in it, and I think it looks awesome. I love the fill plates on the front bumper, both on the top and the front. I think it really just kind of seals in everything and makes it look finished. And this one, it just doesn't. You know, All Pro doesn't offer a rear bumper, and really nobody offers like a plate rear bumper for the first gen 4Runner. I think it's because of the tailgate and how this needs to drop down in front of it. I do love this corner protection, but my thought is I've got this, I think it's 13 gauge steel here that I'm going to make some templates, and I'm going to fill in this space here. I don't think we're gonna be able to make this bend just because it's got two different contours here. So we'll probably just go straight all the way across, then dimple die it, and come around to the back, do the same thing. Probably won't mess around here maybe. Take a fill plate, go across to here, maybe all the way across. I think I can actually clear that, but it just kind of depends on if it's gonna make a funky lump in it, because I don't want that. So make some fill plates for the top, then we'll do some small dimple dies, and I think it's gonna look pretty good finished, and you guys are gonna get to see. So let's get to it. All right, so as a lot of you probably guessed, we're gonna be doing some cardboard aided design, or CAD as I like to call it, to get a template here, and that way we can start cutting. I like to use one of my wife's hundreds of Amazon boxes that I get daily. So go ahead and do that and start tracing. A good starting line like this. Of course, I'm gonna run this all the way out. I'm gonna try to wrap around that, and then if I can, if it won't hold, then we'll just stop it right there and it'll be fine. So anyway, start cutting. Okay, so I have taken my cardboard template and put it on to steel. It actually extends a little bit out. That's where it goes, wraps around this part here, which I don't think that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. I think this is gonna be too thick to bend like that, because you can already tell it's pretty hard to bend right now. That's good. That means if it catches a rock or a tree branch, it won't mess it up. So a lot of you guys may or may not remember our coil bucket plasma cutter time that we had last time. And I'm not very good at it, so let's check this out. Let's try it. All right, so like I said before, don't really 100% know what I'm doing, but I have a plasma cutter, I have some metal, and let's start making some lines. All right, so as you can see here, I immediately messed up. So I'm gonna bring this line back and cut it again. Luckily, I already tried to bend this. I just tried to bend it around and there's no way it's gonna bend around that corner. So no love lost. We'll just bring that in here and then we'll clean it up and make it look nice. But I did actually get this line pretty straight. Actually, that came out good. I used a level, did that, so I'm proud of that one. And I think it's gonna fit up in there nice, so let's. All right, let's try this again and see if we can get it right. Put a flashlight on here this time, so maybe I can see as I'm making this cut. But let's get this on here. Okay, so obviously this is a little, wobbly, but I'm just clean this up with a flap disc. Make ourselves a nice rounded edge. Plus, I'm gonna weld the majority of this, so you're not even gonna notice it. Let's get this fitted up in there and see how it fits. All right, so I took a few measurements, got center, top and bottom, did it in thirds. This is where I'm gonna do my dimples. I chose 2-inch dimples because I figured they're not too big and it gives me a good gap between the bar and where the dimples are gonna be. So I just gotta drill the holes and start doing the dimples. Let's do it. Oh, let's try that again. Got one. I got the plate loaded up into the press with our dimple dies in there. I've never actually used dimple dies before, but it seems pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of put it in the hole and start pressing away. Make sure you got your flared side pointing the way that you want it, which is 45 to in. And let's start pressing away, see what happens. All right, cool. Got our first dimple die. I love it. I'm gonna start dimple dyeing everything. All right, let's do 2 more. All right, guys, check it. That is my first dimple dyed piece. I know it's probably not the most exciting thing you've seen on YouTube, but it's the most exciting that's happened in this garage in a while. And I am pretty jacked on my fill plate. We just got to get this thing ground down and tacked in and then mirror it, do it twice. So this is gonna look great. I'm super excited. Got our first piece in. It's all ground around it. And I got it clamped in. Base it off of the angle of these magnets here to try to get it fairly straight. And I think it's straight all the way around. And now I'm just gonna start stitching in. I'll just stitch this because it's not like a structural piece. So just doing some stitch welding around it will be fine. I'll just tack all the corners and then kind of decide where I weld it in from there. Or maybe I tack all the sides and then weld it from the inside. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, here we go. I got one side welded in. I did a bunch of different types of welding. I tried stitching and some beads and some different stuff. Played around with a bunch of settings because I knew I was just gonna grind it all down and then cover it up anyway. So it looks a little ugly right now, but that's okay. Not really concerned with it. Kind of thinking maybe I do some plates like this, just like 1, 2, 3. Maybe I could fill that in. I don't know. Seems kind of naked without it, doesn't it? Without having anything in there. Even if I did them in like 1-inch sections, maybe it would look right. Wouldn't be able to do any dimple dyes, I don't think. Just feels kind of unfinished like that. Anyway, that's one side. All right, so here is the driver's side. I definitely took my time and just stitched it. Looks a lot better on this side. And this is the side I'm gonna see all the time, so that's kind of funny. Anyway, this, obviously went a lot faster. The second time seems to always go a lot faster. Now I'm going to start doing these back plates like we talked about before. I think I'm gonna go all the way across the top. That way I can still get a D-ring in there. I know a lot of people use soft shackles. I still have D-rings. But yeah, then I just gotta decide if I'm gonna go back all the way in there or if I'm gonna stop right here. Honestly, it doesn't make too much of a difference. It might look kind of nice if I went all the way back in there, so. Let's get some cardboard and get going. I'm getting better. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm thinking here. I've got a, damn it. All right, let me show you guys what I'm thinking here. Got my 2 plates. Just happened to be exactly what I had left. It was like 9.5 inches. Well, it was actually 19. Cut it in half. And that's gonna go all the way back to our little desk guards there, which I think is gonna be great. So, split the difference right here. That way I've got a little bit to weld to, then I can grind that flat. We'll weld it all across this front line. Same thing we did on here. Then I'm gonna come under, mark these rounded parts. And then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do down in here, because I'm not sure I love that, but for right now, I think it's fine. I think it'll look cool. Pretty excited. So here we go. Ooh, boy, was that a lot of holes. Bunch of 1-inch holes all the way down. Took me probably an hour, even in the drill press, just to get them all lined up. Drill a pilot hole and then drill another hole. And then the other one I decided to do is 7/8 hole saw and then finish with the 1-inch bit. Still, man, it took a while. I think it'll be worth it though. We get all these dimple dies down. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Everything is tacked in, dimples are down. Definitely think that adds to it for sure. Thought about doing some back here, but I just don't have it in me to drill all those holes. And honestly, I think I like having more of a foot rest up here, and then hopefully the water will kind of drain down into these. Otherwise, if I do it again, I mean, the bar is right there. I'd have to go all the way back here, so these are right in between the bar. Maybe I'll just cut the back of this off. We'll see. Right now, I'm just kind of digging the big flat area. It's nice to set stuff on. All right, it's been a couple of days and I've had this thing on here a while, and I've walked around it, looked at it, and pondered over what I want to do with that corner. So I went and got some thinner sheet metal that I think is going to be able to make this corner a lot easier. It's not super thin, and it's thinner in comparison to what's on there, obviously, so that's going to be an interesting gap to fill, but I should be able to make it around this, and I'm gonna try to do a couple dimple dies in there, so let's try it out. So in order to get this kind of close, I got a old body tape measure, you know, for like measuring your arms or waist or whatever. So I can check on this curve how I'm gonna measure this distance. So start here at the edge of this one. Start it there. Goes from 4 to 13, so 9 at the top. About 5.5 at the bottom. So let's transfer it over to our metal and get a cut. Well, I can tell you right now that that is not how that works, because obviously I've got a very short bend here and a very long bend up here, and now I am nowhere close to making that work. So lesson learned. I might try to shape this one on it and then kind of measure and see how much more I need on here, and see if I can learn from my mistakes, maybe get the cardboard out and try this again. Well, I think we're learning here. I've got it clamped up against this corner here, and around that bend it's a little bit low, but it does make that curve. Then this side, I need to take about 1 inch out of that and add it to this side. Starting to wonder if maybe the easiest way is going to be to just tack it and then bend it over as I do it. Either way, it doesn't really look right, and this is why I'm not a body man. All right, camera's coming off of the tripod. My son Dewey, say hi Dewey.
Hi.
Wants to be the cameraman, so I'm gonna let him take over. You have to point it at me. So it turns out don't really know what I'm doing. So what I did is took my original measurements and made a pie piece, almost like a trapezoid. Now, if I set it on here, this, make it around this curve. Come on, closer, you're too far away. So now, I got my pie piece here. I'll set it in here, and I can make this compound curve all the way around. So, I'm gonna get this cut out of the sheet metal, get it tacked on there.
There we go. 0, 0, 0.
Oh, we had more clamps.
Black screen.
Alright, so I think if I get this clamped in here, like this, get one more clamp. Can you see me?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No, listen. Do that.
Okay, so I got some clamps on here just to kind of see what it would look like. And I think that's the right curve. It looks a little bit wonky going down that way, but I don't really know what else I can do. It matches along the bottom. That seam will have to get filled. I'll probably have to put something on the back side of it, but it makes it all the way around. It just needs to be welded as it's pushed in there. And my last thought is, am I going to be able to do a dimple die in here at all to make it match there? I know that if I do a dimple die, it's going to make it even more rigid, so not totally sure, but it's worth a shot. All right, we are back, and it is a new day. In fact, it is a new day and a new piece of sheet metal. we're gonna get this right. I am tired of this looking the way that it does. However, I do have one kind of saving grace from last night's or 2 nights ago's project or try. So let me show you that. So besides just being able to shape this around this corner, I was also worried that after I put a dimple die in it, it would be more rigid and I would have an even tougher time getting it to work. So I went ahead and tried clamping it. Obviously, we're not gonna clamp it. We're gonna weld it, move it, bend it, weld it, move it, bend it, weld it. But this is really close. Obviously, this piece is not gonna work, but the shape is just about right. And I'm gonna cut out the correct shape, and then I'm gonna dimple die it right in the middle so it matches the rest of our dimple dies. And then this will be in. So I'm at least 2 steps back, 1 step forward. So let's try again. So I had to actually mess up just one more time before getting it right. So that is our piece. Fits in there good. Obviously it's not dimple dyed yet, but I got this set in so it matches on this seam here. It's gonna roll around our top, match up on this side. That should be good. So let's get a dimple die put in it. So I got a dimple die in it. Matches, same height. The plan is to set and tack this kind of top to bottom like this. And then slowly just bend my way around. Keep setting tacks until it's flush on the other side. So let's see how this goes. Well, I'm running out of light. I could just back it up to all of this light, but I think I'm gonna eat dinner. Anyway, I am pretty excited about that. I think that that really kind of finishes that corner. Extremely excited about how that turned out. Yeah, I've got some grinding to do. I'm out of flat discs, but I did grind down that seam there, and it's round. The corner's rounded. It looks cool. Woo! I'm done for the night. So here is the final bumper. All the welds ground and Line-X'd, and I think it turned out amazing. This stuff is super durable. I've already been wheeling with it, and caught it up on some rocks. Got it caught up on the rock down here pretty good, and not even a scratch in it. So I'm pretty excited. I think this is a killer modification to the trail gear bumper, and I think it's much more protective than how it was, and also it matches the rest of my stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, and appreciate you.